Hello, happy Thursday. It's 22 degrees outside. We have a light snow dusting out there. I'm standing by waiting to see if the school's going to call me with a 2-hour delay for the frozen roads. So I hope we don't get that phone call during this live, but I think we're all right. How are we doing today, sunshines? Halfway through the month, January 15th. How about that? Okay. We're going to read Genesis 31:17 through 32:12. Then we're going to do Matthew 10:26 through 11:6. We will read Psalm 13:1 through 6 and Proverbs 3:16 through 18. Okay, I hope we're all feeling wonderful. More than halfway through the week. I spent a little time last night thinking about, what would the earth look like? What would life be like if Eden never ate the forbidden fruit? And I pondered whether life would go on and be this beautiful walk of life with God. I also considered that up until Eve ate the forbidden fruit, death was not even an option. They were going to grow forever and long and build their relationship with God, and their descendants would get closer to God, and so on and so on. And but I often wondered, if Eve had not eaten that fruit, possibly maybe some of her descendants would have eventually succumbed to temptation. I also think that it's interesting that in the beginning it was talking of how the snake was punished, how Eve was punished, and man was punished. I often wonder why the snake didn't get more punishment. Why didn't he get banned from the earth after what he did? But just interesting things that go through my mind. It's kind of hard sometimes. We read a section at a time each day, and then my brain thinks about it throughout the day. And then we move on and read. And the next day, my brain is still thinking about the other day and what we just read. So I like to kind of collect my thoughts sometimes. All right, let's begin today. Genesis 31:17. Then Jacob put his children and his wives on camels, and he drove all his livestock ahead of him, along with all the goods he had accumulated in Padan Aram, to go to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. When Laban had gone to shear his sheep, Rachel stole her father's household gods. Moreover, Jacob deceived Laban the Aramean by not telling him he was running away. So he fled with all he had, and crossing the river, he headed for the hill country of Gilead. On the third day, Laban was told that Jacob had fled, taking his relatives with him. He pursued Jacob for 7 days and caught up with him in the hill country of Gilead. Then God came to Laban the Aramean in a dream at night and said to him, "Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad." Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country of Gilead when Laban overtook him, and Laban and his relatives camped there too. Then Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done? You've deceived me, and you've carried off my daughters like captives in war. Why did you run off secretly and deceive me? Why didn't you tell me so I could send you away with joy and singing to the music of tambourines and harps?" Now that has been my question this whole time. There's so many situations now that if they would have just communicated from the very beginning, there wouldn't be any lying and deceiving. You didn't even let me kiss my grandchildren and my daughters goodbye. You have done a foolish thing. I have the power to harm you, but last night the God of your father said to me, there's that phone call from the school I told you about. I have the power to harm you, but last night the God of your father said to me, "Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad. Now you have gone off because you long to return to your father's house. But why did you steal my gods?" And I'm back. Sorry, I guess they just keep calling you. Anyhow, I'm caught up on this word gods. It's lowercase. And he says, I have the power to harm you, but last night the God of your father said to me. So Laban doesn't believe in God? Laban believes in multiple gods? And how do you steal their gods? Are they idols? Are they the idols that represent gods? Are these what he prays to, maybe? Jacob answered Laban, I was afraid, because I thought you would take your daughters away from me by force. But if you find anyone who has your gods, he shall not live. In the presence of our relatives, see for yourself whether there is anything of yours here with me, and if so, take it. Now Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen the gods. Oh. So Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the tent of the two maidservants, but he found nothing. After he came out of Leah's tent, he entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the household gods and put them inside her camel's saddle and was sitting on them. Laban searched through everything in the tent but found nothing. Rachel said to her father, Don't be angry, my lord, that I cannot stand up in your presence. I am having my period. So he searched but could not find the household gods. Jacob was angry and took Laban to task. What is my crime? He asked Laban. What sin have I committed that you hunt me down? Now that you have searched through all my goods, what have you found that belongs to your household? Put it here in front of your relatives and mine, and let them judge between the two of us. I have been with you for 20 years now. Your sheep and goats have not miscarried, nor have I eaten rams from your flock. I did not bring you animals torn by wild beasts. I bore the loss myself. And you demanded payment from me, whatever was stolen by day or night. This was my situation. The heat consumed me in the daytime and the cold at night, and sleep fled from my eyes. It was like this for the 20 years I was in your household. I worked for you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flocks, and you changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac have not been with me, you would surely have sent me away empty-handed. But God has seen my hardship and the toil of my hands, and last night he rebuked you. I got chills. I got chills to be able to say there and pretty much say that you could see that God is working through me, and you used me. But God has seen my hardship and the toil of my hands, and last night he rebuked you. Laban answered Jacob, The women are my daughters, the children are my children, and the flocks are my flocks. All you see is mine. Yet what can I do today about these daughters of mine, or about the children they have come born? Come now, let's make a covenant, you and I, and let it serve as witness between us. So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. He said to his relatives, Gather some stones. So they took stones and piled them in a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Laban called it Yeger Sahadutha, and Jacob called it Galeed. Laban said, This heap is a witness between you and me today. This is why it was called Galeed. It was also called Mizpah, because he said, May the Lord keep watch between you and me when we are away from each other. If you mistreat my daughters, or if you take any wives besides my daughters, even though no one is with us, remember that God is a witness between you and me. Now that is a much more reasonable covenant than, having circumcision. But then again, these guys are probably already circumcised, so that's off the table. But very different form of covenant, right? We're seeing different versions of this going on here. Laban also said to Jacob, Here is the heap, and here is the pillar I have set up between you and me. This heap is a witness, and this pillar is a witness, that I will not go past this heap to to your side to harm you, and that you will not go past this heap and pillar to my side to harm me. May the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us." So Jacob took an oath in the name of the fear of his father Isaac. He offered a sacrifice there in the hill country and invited his relatives to a meal. After they had eaten, they spent the night there. Early the next morning, Laban kissed his grandchildren and his daughters and blessed them. Then he left and returned home. See, I'm just surprised that after all this time that that Jacob has been with Laban, that he would still be believing in these other gods, the god of Nahor, or whatever. I'm not quite sure. I'm not understanding quite sure is if Laban is believing in what these multiple gods are. But you would think after all this time and abusing his relationship with Jacob, Laban might eventually open his mind and because of what he witnesses, become a believer in our God. But I don't know why that hasn't happened. Maybe everything would have been a lot smoother had it gone that way. Laban also said to Jacob, "Here is this heap, and here is this pillar I have set up between you and me. This heap is a witness, and this pillar is a witness that I will not go..." Oops, I read that part. Sorry. Going down to 32. Jacob also went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When God saw them, he said, "This is the camp of God." So he named the place Mahanaim. Jacob sent messengers ahead of him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. He instructed them, "This is what you are to say to my master Esau. Your servant Jacob says, I have been staying with Laban and have remained there till now. I have cattle and donkeys, sheep and goats, men servants and maid servants. Now I am sending this message to my lord that I may favor in your eyes." When the messengers returned to Jacob, they said, "We went to your brother Esau, and now he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." In great fear and distress, Jacob divided the people who were with him into 2 groups, and the flocks and herds and camels as well. He thought, if Esau comes and attacks one group, the group that is left may escape. Then Jacob prayed, "O God, my father Abraham, God, my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, 'Go back to your country and your relatives. I will make you prosper.' I am unworthy of all the kindness and faithfulness you have shown your servant. I had only my staff when I crossed this Jordan, but now I have become 2 groups. Save me, I pray, from the hand of my brother Esau, for I am afraid he will come and attack me, and also the mothers with their children. But you have said, I will surely make you prosper, and will make your descendants like the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted." Ooh. Okay, so it's a bit scary now. So he's just sending out kind of like a white flag to his brother saying, "Hey, I've made a life for myself. I've grown from nothing to all these things." And he says, "Now I am sending this message to my lord that I may favor in your eyes." I'm assuming he's trying to reconcile with Esau. And Esau's like, "Yeah, I'll come see you with my 400 friends." So, gosh, that's kind of sad and scary. So, we shall see tomorrow what happens there. We're going to move on to Matthew 10:26. I'll give you a minute. I hope we're all doing wonderful today. Sorry about that phone call. The school likes to call us, and they were prepared, or all the teachers were warning the kids that we were going to have a delayed morning. And I wish they would just put the phone call out the night before, but they have to wait, so I understand. And we shall move on. Matthew 10:26. So do not be afraid of them, those who persecute you. There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. What I tell you in the dark, speak in the daylight. What is whispered in your ear, proclaim from the roofs. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell. I'm going to underline that one because that's important to me. I feel that, especially when we turn on the news or we see people making bad choices, it almost kind of hurts, because when you live a certain way and you're trying to do good and you're consciously working on yourself and you see other people not, it's very disheartening and very sad. You hope that one day they get to that point. But do not be afraid of those who kill the body, not kill the soul. So I feel like that's deep, that's deep. I mean, I'm just imagining, say somebody's coming after me trying to kill me and I'm trying to run, and it's got to be a horrible situation, say you're in downtown Los Angeles and you're getting held up or something by somebody on drugs with a knife, that's awful, that's scary. And to have so much faith in moments like that, it's very powerful. And I know that was a pretty dark place to go, but okay. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather be afraid of the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground apart from the from the will of your Father. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. So this is bold in my Bible, and I'm going to read it again. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground apart from the will of your Father. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid. You're worth more than many sparrows. So, no matter what your challenges are, you're favored by God, and you're worth more than 2 sparrows, than many sparrows. How do you interpret that one? What are you getting out of that? It's bold, and I'm supposed to be getting something out of it, but it's very confusing to me. That's Matthew 10:29. Whoever acknowledges me before men, I will also acknowledge him before my Father in heaven. But whoever disowns me before men, I will disown him before my Father in heaven. I'm sorry to keep breaking this down, but now it makes me think, I went through such a period of time where I did not believe in God. Such a period of time. And, in fact, I didn't hate him, but maybe I did hate him. And I was just looking for so many reasons to prove he didn't exist, right? So it makes me wonder. It's different now. Saying I believe in God makes it feel like I haven't had an experience. I've had an experience. I know God. So I hope that I'm forgiven now. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the members of his own household. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace, but I thought he will. So, yeah, if you acknowledge me in front of other people saying, yeah, I believe in God and he exists and he's almighty and powerful, then, there's a place for him in heaven. But whoever disowns him, he'll be denied in heaven. But why does it say, do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth? I thought he did. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I've come to... What? And let's keep going. I'm so confused by this. I thought it's saying everything the opposite of what God is supposed to be. Anyone who loves his father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And anyone who does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds this life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. He who receives you receives me, and he who receives me receives the one who sent me. Anyone who receives a prophet because he is a prophet will receive a prophet's reward, and anyone who receives a righteous man because he is a righteous man will receive a righteous man's reward. And if anyone gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones because he is my disciple, I tell you the truth, he will certainly not lose his reward. Okay, so for context, this is the message God is telling to the disciples. And I think that would have helped if I would have led with that, because I just jumped into it. So this is what he's telling the disciples. I still don't understand why does it say, do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. And he's turning everybody and their households against each other. Is that because these people are bad, so we're turning them against each other? Is that the purpose? I thought they were going in to try and turn these bad people into followers of God and enlighten them of the way. I'm going to need some help. Matthew 10:26. I think I'm going to note this down and spend some time online looking around about this, because I don't know if I have enough context or what. After Jesus had finished instructing his 12 disciples, he went on from there to teach and preach in the towns of Galilee. When John heard in the prison what Christ was doing, he sent his disciples to ask him, "Are you the one who is to come, or should we expect someone else?" Jesus replied, "Go back and report to John what you hear and see. The blind receive sight, the lame walk, those who have leprosy are cured, the deaf hear, the dead are raised, and the good news is preached to the poor. Blessed is the man who does not fall away on account of me." Well, that is a beautiful section right there. Beautiful section of explaining exactly all the wonderful things that sums up that Jesus has been doing, that we've been learning. Making the blind see, raising the dead, casting demons out, letting the deaf hear, helping people who couldn't walk again. There was the one lady who was bleeding for 12 years, and he was able to make her stop. Still don't understand what that problem was about. But Jesus, Matthew 11:4 is pretty powerful. Okay, our psalm is 13:1-6. For the director of music, a psalm of David. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts, and every day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, O Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. My enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing to the Lord, for he has been good to me. So, sounds like in a time of despair, when you feel like God has forgotten you, you pray, you put your faith and trust in them, and you'll sing because you'll know the Lord's good to you. They'll show up. They'll answer your prayers. Sometimes the unanswered prayers are an answer, right? And we'll do Proverbs 3:16. Proverbs 3:16. Long life is in her wisdom's right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Those who lay hold of her will be blessed. She is a tree of life. Long life is in her wisdom's right hand, and in her left hand, riches and honor. So long life is all about wisdom, riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who embrace her. Those who lay hold of her will be blessed. Okay, that completes our reading for today, January 15th, halfway through our month. We didn't have some crazy wild story drama stuff today, no Jerry Springer episodes, but I am still, I feel indifferent about Matthew 10:26 through 11:6. I'm going to spend some time on my own. I encourage, if that confused you, you also spend some time with it today. And I'll try and discuss tomorrow what I figure out from it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay warm wherever you are. And stay blessed. Hey, let's do a quick little prayer because I didn't pray this morning. So, dear God, thanks for allowing me to wake up today in this flesh to live another day and experience all the blessings and joy that you have bestowed on our earth. I pray that as I continue reading this Bible, I remain hungry for the knowledge and desire to understand the word of the message much better. I hope that the people that are watching also are inspired to understand the Bible better and seek out their own curiosities in their own time, as well as discuss with us so we may collectively understand together. Let's have a wonderful day. I thank you for my children, my husband, my family, my friends, and amen. All right. See you tomorrow. Bye.